Very big welcome to you, my dear Capricorn. So you are getting a second time the Sun in Taurus, which means that you are getting a message through Taurus that is saying, ground yourself, find your roots, sit here on the ground, right? Not in a chair, sit on the ground and feel the earth roots that are bringing you into a spiritual enlightenment. An enlightenment that helps you to understand that when the Sun is in Taurus, that you learning to see that the 19 turns into a 10 and the 10 and the 5 is the 15, and that's you. You are the 15th major arcana, and so the 5 is always this spiritual search until the throat chakra, but you get one more, and then of course with the 1 we find the third eye, and in the third eye we find the liberation. So the 15 is speaking here very clearly to you and says, here you are able to find your spiritual meaning. And so the Sun that's giving the light to the Moon, which is of course in your sign, you are getting here a 15 as well, right? The 18 turns into a 9, the 9 and the 15, that's the 6. The 9, the 6 is also a 15, and so you getting right away a 6-6 portal. And in that 6-6 portal, you understand how important it is to work with your third eye and to know that in the third eye we see the future, we see the now. So this right now, right, today, a second time. So back to the last reading, the message was step into the unknown and transform your life again and again. And what's really beautiful is that I can see if there's a card that is reoccurring, and at this very moment there is not. And so we are gonna look at the Queen of Pentacles. That's you, right? You're the 10th house of work and career, and you know how to climb because you're the boss. And I decided to do also the King of Swords, because is your birthday between December 12th and January 8th, then the Queen of Pentacles is your court card, and the major arcana is the Devil. Now this is a pure Capricorn, and then there is a mix. There is the King of Swords, which goes from the January 9th to February 7th, and that's a mix. And I would like to include the mix in the reading of Capricorn, because this is something I want to try and see if I will continue to add that. It's just something I noticed more and more, that there is a mix and I haven't addressed the mix, and so I'm testing, right? You are witnessing how I'm testing how the tarot can be read in so many different ways. And so here comes the 10th zodiac sign, and the King of Swords is the 11th zodiac sign, and in the 11 we see the 1-1 portal already. So of course, if your birthday, which I have listed all below in the description, right, is after the 9th of January until the 21st of January, right? If your birthday is in between there, then you are mixed. Then you are the King of Swords, but you are, of course, here Capricorn, the Devil, the attachment. So we're also going to look at the last judgment, which is Pluto. Pluto is in retrograde in Aquarius, and this is here Aquarius, right? And so we're also going to look at Saturn. Saturn is the world, and Saturn is ruling you. And here we can see the lessons the world brings us. And as such, I can begin the reading. So we begin with the Queen of Pentacles. You are getting the King of Cups, which is a Scorpio. And in the last reading, we had Death, Scorpio, coming up right here, right? And so Scorpio is playing a part in your life. And now the King is coming up. And so the 10 and the 8 is the 18. The 18 is the moon. In your subconscious, something wants to come and speak to you. Also, Pluto rules Scorpio, and so you are feeling that something is talking to you, that there is a message coming to you. The 18 turns into a 9, and the 9, of course, is completion. And you had the 9 as the Hermit in the last reading as well. Then I want to see what is bringing the Mother Piece Tarot. You're getting the Magician to the right. And the Magician is saying literally, then you can go out there, because the 9 and the 1 is a 10, then you can start a new cycle through the help of a Scorpio. And that's when you create new endeavors. And you can see his suit is like a tiger. He is the one that is creating really the next project, right? And so Mercury is the messenger, and the 9 and the 1 is the 10, and the 10, that's you. Then you see that there is this understanding of you wanting to create more. The 10 and the 1 is an 11 as well, the same way that the King of Swords is the 11th zodiac sign. So you have a portal here. This could be the 8th of November or the 11th of August. Now, what is Mercury saying? What is the Magician saying? He's bringing you Pachamama. And Pachamama is looking over at the Scorpio, at you. And Pachamama is looking over at you. It's almost like Pachamama is like seeing you as a couple that is creating together. And in that creation, the 10 and the 40 is the 50, and the 50 then with the 0, right, the 5, the Hierophant, and the 0, Uranus, the new beginnings, the new revolutions that are coming to us now. Incense of Pachamama, incense of what the earth is now bringing us, the shift the earth is going through, and you are holding the earth, you are holding the coin. And so here are the emotions that are now connected to all of it. So the 5 is coming up here as the 5 that is here in the 15, the 5th chakra, right? And so see how that makes you feel. Then I'm looking at the King of Swords, and from his deck you get the Magician as well. Look at that. So here comes the 11 and another 1, 3 times the 1. That's a bigger portal. That's the self-empowerment portal. The 11 is being creative in the portal of the 1. And so 3 times the 1 is clearly also saying here is a manifestation. The same way here also the King of Cups is bringing to you. What is the Magician bringing here? The Andean Cross. And the Andean Cross is the number 2. So we have the 1, 1, 1 and the 2. And in there we see that you learning to be circular at any crossing. Crossings are a moment where we interconnect with others. And the circle inside is saying, well, stay round, even though there is this squareness, right? So see the circular aspect inside of the Andean cross, right? And so you see 3 times the 1 and the 2. What is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing? You're getting the 4 of Swords to the left, which is Jupiter in Libra. And so if you are the king, right, Libra is the Queen of Swords. And this is the meditation. And it's important that when we meditate, we see that we are creating within the 4, with the point up. We create what we think is important through the meditation. And so you see that the 2 and the 4 is a 6. So 3 times the 1 and the 6, right? But we could also say this is the 6th of November or the 11th of June as a date. So see how this makes you feel, right? If you are the King of Swords, and so see that here the 6 and the 3 times the 1 is talking to you, and in there you are recognizing that the Magician is coming as well. So for both, the Magician has come up, right? And that's a beautiful sign that somehow there is a connection, and it's letting me know that what I'm doing is kind of feeling right. Then we're going to look at the moon. The moon is getting the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. And in there we see the 24. The 24 becomes the 6, the 18 and 9, the 6 and the 9, the 15. So here you are learning to awaken, because the galactic mushroom is always that moment where we awaken out of this dimension into a new dimension, and the 15 turns into a 6, and that's you. What is coming from your deck? The Tower. And the Tower is, of course, saying, well, let go. Let go of the things that you expect to stay fixed. Mars is coming, and Mars is saying things gotta go. The 16 turns into a 7. And the 6 and the 7 is the 13, and that's Scorpio, which came last time, right? The Major Arcana. And so you understand the 13 turns into a 4, and the 4 is then here connected with the 4 of Swords. The aspect of you that is meditating sees clearly the depth of here the galactic mushroom, and that the galactic mushroom is saying, well, things gotta go. Things are not the way you think they should be. They need to leave, and so let them go. What is the Tower bringing? The Tower is bringing you the crocodile. And the crocodile is, of course, the water aspect here. The animal that can wait very long, right? When the weather is dry, they literally can wait for a long time. And you see that the King of Cups, right, the water, because it's the water aspect here, has come up and is bringing you clearly the understanding that in your creativity, in your sexuality, you gotta wait a little bit. And it's almost like a crocodile is seeing that something is falling apart and is waiting for the galactic mushroom effect, right, of the divine matrix. You seeing that something is leaving. And remember, the 6 and the 7 was the 13, the 4 is left. And of course here the 9 with the 4 is again another 13. So there is a big transformation happening, and the 4 still is left. And so you understand what's really talking here to you, right? And the King of Swords had the 4 of Swords. And so you understand that this message might be for the King of Swords. The Sun. The Sun is bringing you the companionship of animals. And so your 19 is the 10. The 21 is the 3. The 13 is coming up again. So Scorpio is playing a big part to you, my dear Queen. And so you understand that Scorpio is bringing transformations. Also through the moon, the transformation has come up here, and the crocodile is the one that helps you then to see what is the next step but you see that the animals are here to help you. The 4 again is left, and so meditation is important for the King of Swords, right? What is coming from Taurus? The 9 of Wands, which is the moon in Sagittarius. And so you see that the 4 and the 9 again creates the 13. So there is a transformation. There is really, through the Andean cross, this, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 directions, and the circle in the center. And we have the 4T here as well, right? So both the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords both get the element 4, right? And that element is important because those are the first 4 elements. And so you see that the 4 is left here, and in there both the King and the Queen are spoken to. Then we're going to look at the last judgment, Pluto. Pluto is bringing you Anvil. It's really interesting. It's the 43. Look at the symbol here, right? And so the anvil, the 43 plus the 20 is the 63. And the 63 is a 9. And we had a 9 here with the King of Cups, which is the 8th zodiac sign, plus the 1 is a 9. So I'm going to read to you this card. We are all born to lock horns with life, to bring trouble and tussle to those fool enough to try ruling us. The grip of youth fights for its truth. Strike the death knell history bell and blast out the past. Punctuate, perforate, mark, and send your distinct new hood for your good to be stamped, revamped, and returned. Willful and resistance. So the calling is that you gotta wake up and see that there are 4 directions. See that there's a circle in the center. See that there is a 40 and there is also a circle with the 4, right? It's very beautiful. And so understand that the 9 is speaking. What is coming from Aquarius, because Pluto is in Aquarius, the 6 of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. So Scorpio is coming a lot, right? You have the King of Cups, and then you had many 13s, and last time there was a Scorpio, right? The death card. So now Sun in Scorpio is bringing you memories. And we had the 9 and the 6, that's the 15. So this is speaking to you both, right? To the King and the Queen. And so we understand that the 15 turns this in a 6 again, and the memories are like balloons, right? And you're looking down to these children and remember now from this perspective how it was when you were younger, and that you awaken to a new perspective. And so the past is gone, but still the past brought you very important lessons that are today still relevant. And now Saturn. Saturn is bringing you the star. Look at you. So this is Aquarius, right? And Aquarius, or the King of Swords, is feeling connected with this, but also the Queen of Pentacles is connected to this, because it's important that we understand that Saturn is ruling, the Queen of Pentacles is ruling Capricorn, and in there the 17 plus the 3 of the world is a 20, is the portal for either the King of Swords, right? Understand that he's the 11th zodiac sign, or that you see with you the 10 and the Magician the 11 as well. So it speaks to both, right? Which is really interesting. And I find it very interesting to have now both zodiac signs in here, because both of them are under the devil under this aspect, right, of Capricorn, moon in Capricorn. That's what I'm using. And I want to try if this works, and it works, right? I did it already with Sagittarius, the last reading. I tried it and I was like, oh wow, this is really interesting. And so if you feel like you want to look at that one as well, right, please feel free, because the moon in Sagittarius has come up, and that was a reading before, and I had in there also the Queen of Pentacles inside, right, mixed of course with the Knight of Wands. So we have the 38, the 38 is the 11, and then we have the 2 of Swords, which is moon in Libra. So you had 4 swords, and 2 swords are 6 swords, and that's the 6 that is you. When you calculate this together, really see that you are learning to discern that the 2 is the duality, the 2 is always uniting one and then another line, right, with the circle in the center. And so understand that the 11 and the 2 could be the 11th of February or the 2nd of November as a date. And so you see that here Saturn is letting you know something clearly. The world wants you to be a star. The world wants you to understand that the 17 and the 2 is the 19. The 19 is the sun. And the sun, the second time in Taurus, is letting you know you can become that. Because this 21 can be a 3 in the 2 is the 5, right? The 5, and of course the 8 is the 13, again, the transformation into a star. Don't think about it, just become it, allow it to happen. And the star is now, of course, connected to the King of Swords, right? That's his spiritual aspect, right? The stardom that is deep within the Aquarius. And so if you have, of course, the date of the King of Swords that I just told you, and so you understand that there is a mix, and in that mix, right, you learn to see that there is so many different perspectives that we can see through the cards in the reading, that nothing is the same, right? And so of course now the 13 leaves the 4 again, and the 4 we know now is of course the 40 here, right? Or the 4 here. And you see that this reading is clearly challenging me, because I'm noticing that I might, not really understand it fully yet, right? But there is 2 times the Magician that has come up under both, and so it's really actually also testing me. It's testing me how much can I handle the mixture of, right, the Capricorn and then the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. And I'm doing this because Aleister Crowley has calculated the dates of the court cards are different than the dates of when the sun is in the sign. And so this is the soul aspect, and this is the human aspect. And so if you're born within this frame, you can see it in the description below, then you are a pure Capricorn. But if you're born in this frame, you are mixed, and in that mix, it's interesting because the 6 and the 11, it's the 11th of June, right? Or the 6th of November. And you can see that there are different aspects then through these 2 court cards that make this reading even more interesting. And so I'm challenging myself, and I hope you challenge yourself as well to learn more and more into the 6, learning who you are, learning that the 6 is in the 16 as well, right? Learning who you are and awakening, right, to the understanding that the swords is the mental aspect, and in there you're learning more and more that Nothing is just like whatever, right? Oh, these cards, yeah, whatever. They really powerful and they really speak to us. And so in your past, right, you understand there is a message for you as well. And so learn to connect with that, because you also had a 7-7 here. Learn to let go of the things that don't work, because there's always more coming. Because if you don't let go, the more can come. And you had the 21, the world. Right? So the animals are the world. And in that world, when we connect with them, we are understanding the message behind it, but also see the King of Cups. He is important. He came, and the 13 came, which is Scorpio, which is the transformation. And so I hope you understand that whatever you're waiting for is going to happen. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Gemini. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.